what is Ripple XRP and how does it work? By the end of this video, you will know everything about XRP, even if you are a complete beginner, and information you will learn is known by a very small percentage of people. So if you stay until the end, you will be ahead of 99% of people in the world. It is your decision. And if you decided right, welcome to Bitcoin Academy, #1 YouTube school for everything crypto related. I am Bitcoin professor and I was created to teach you about promising world of cryptocurrencies, and I am doing it for free. So the least you can do is subscribe. Okay, let's dive straight into what we will be covering today by dividing this video in 8 key topics. Number 1, why should you care about Ripple? Number 2, what is Ripple? Number 3, what is XRP? Number 4, how banks use XRP. Number 5, comparing with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Number 6, SEC lawsuit. Number 7, how to buy and store XRP safely. Number 8, future of XRP. If you already know some of this, feel free to skip any chapter. All chapters are marked on the video timeline. Okay, diving into topic number 1, why should you care about Ripple? All right, just imagine you are doing a freelance remote job for a client from, let's say, United Kingdom, and your residence is California, for example. You finish the job, and client now needs to pay you, let's say, $1,000 US. He would need to transfer his British pounds to US dollars while paying fees. Then he would need to send money from his bank account to your bank account, which will also cost fees. It is fair to estimate that both you and him will lose at least $25 each paying fees to your banks. When you add that up, that would be 5% of total sum you earned. So to better understand this injustice, let's put it into perspective of time. Let's say you invested 20 hours of your work in this job. That would mean that 1 total hour you work just so bank can give you your money. I believe we all agree that this is insane. And that's not all. On top of that, you would most likely need to wait at least 3 to 5 days for money to even arrive. Imagine in this day and age, you need to wait for some balance numbers on some computer to travel to another computer takes 3 to 5 days. Wait, you don't need to imagine. That is exactly how international money flow works. To put it simply, it is a broken system. And that is exactly where XRP comes in. It is the revolutionary way to send money globally. But instead of 3 days, it takes maximum of 3 seconds. Instead of $50 fees, it costs less than 5% of 1 penny. And instead of ancient banking system, it is running on a network that works 24/7. Sounds mind-blowing. Don't worry, just sit back and relax. Because as we go through, information will get even more mind-blowing. Which brings us to topic number 2. What is Ripple? In order to start this one, we need to clear out one of the biggest confusions around Ripple and XRP. And we just said it. Ripple and XRP are not the same thing. Ripple is the company, and XRP is simply the cryptocurrency that they created. Think of it like FedEx. Ripple would be the FedEx company itself, and XRP in this case would be the trucks they use in order to do business of delivering goods. To put it simply, XRP is just the product that was made by Ripple Company. Okay, now, let's head into the vision of Ripple. Ripple was created in order to revolutionize outdated banking systems all around the world. As we said in previous step, banking systems are super outdated. But why is that the case? Well, it is simple. Like everything in world, it also revolves around money and control. You see banking systems today use a system called SWIFT, which stands for Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. It was founded in 1973 by a total of 239 banks from 15 different countries in order to replace Telex, an outdated error-prone system. In 1977, it launched operation with 518 banks. Today, it is used by more than 11,000 institutions in over 200 countries, with a daily volume that surpasses $5 trillion. So we can say that SWIFT did monopolize a huge percentage of the money flow in the entire world. So if you're asking yourself, why aren't banking systems getting Ripple technology instead of SWIFT? The answer is right here. Nobody is going to give up $5 trillion in daily volume without a fight. In fact, they are not only not changing outdated system with revolutionary one that Ripple offers, they even tried to shut this company completely. But more about that in topic number 6. Before we move on, let's recap this topic in one sentence. Ripple is a company, and it uses XRP, which is a currency they created in order to replace outdated money transfer system called SWIFT. All right, moving on to topic number 3, which is what is XRP? We already mentioned some things about XRP. Now let's dive a bit deeper inside. Let's compare XRP to other famously known cryptocurrencies. So if we consider Bitcoin as a digital gold, XRP would be closest thing to supersonic jet. simply because it is aiming to speed up international money flow by more than 10,000 times. One important thing before I explain this, I will be using Bitcoin comparisons moving forward. So if you don't know anything about Bitcoin, make sure to check this video on Bitcoin Academy channel. We explained it so everyone can fully understand it even without any prior knowledge. Getting back to comparison. So Bitcoin network uses proof of work, which are nodes and miners that validate every transaction, which requires computing power in order to work properly. And everyone with internet connection can participate in this. On the other hand, XRPL, which is a network where XRP exists, uses a consensus ledger, which is a group of 150 plus trusted validators working with Ripple Company. These validators validate transactions every 3 to 5 seconds. So unlike Bitcoin, which is fully decentralized and no governing body has any power over it, XRP is centralized. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense for banks even to consider adopting it. Next comparison would be transaction speed. Bitcoin network can proceed around 7 transactions per second, while XRPL can proceed 1,500 transactions per second. Fees for sending Bitcoin can be even $10 or $20 when network is busy, while fees for sending XRP are not more than 5% of 1 penny. So to put it all in simple perspective, XRP is a centralized cryptocurrency owned by a Ripple company, existing on XRPL network. Transactions are getting validated by trusted validators. It can process up to 1,500 transactions per second with insanely low fee costs. Now let's move on to topic number 4, which will explain how banks plan to use XRP. We answered huge part of this topic in previous 3, but let's go a step further by setting up examples to clarify efficiency once again. We will make an example of moving $1 million from bank in Japan to bank in United States. In first example, we will show how it would work inside current SWIFT system banks are using. And in second one, we will show how it would look like with XRP. So in case of using SWIFT, it would go like this. Bank A in Japan would initiate transfer via SWIFT to Bank B in United States. Step 2 would need to include 2 to 3 different banks in order to handle currency conversion and routing. Step 3 would need to include pre-funded accounts. Bank A must pre-deposit Japanese yen in USA in order to prove liquidity of initiated transfer. Step 4. Bank B in United States receives US dollar after clearing delays. Whole process would take 3 to 5 days due to time zones, manual checks that need to be done, and intermediary movements. It would cost $30 to $50 of visible fees and hidden FX spread, which is an extra fee disguised as a worse exchange rate than the real market rate, which is ranging from 1 to 3%. So let's take middle, 2%. In case of $1 million transfer, that would be $20,000. Making our total fee costs $20,050. Now let's see how that would look like with XRP. Step number 1 would be for Bank A in Japan to exchange Japanese yen for XRP on XRPL network, which would take around 3 seconds. XRP then zips to USA in less than 3 seconds. Bank B receives XRP in USA and exchanges it for US dollar in less than 3 seconds. Done. No middleman, no pre-funded accounts. Whole process takes less than 10 seconds. Now fees. Fee for sending XRP is less than 5% of 1 penny, no matter the amount you are sending, and hidden FX spread would be around $5. So answer me in comment section, which way sounds better and more efficient? Now you understand why banks are itching to kick out SWIFT and adopt XRP. All right, we compared banking systems. Now let's compare XRP with top cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum, which brings us to topic number 5. To understand the differences properly, we need to look at 3 main aspects, which are speed, cost, and purpose. First, let us talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin was created as digital gold, meaning its main purpose is to store value over time. When you send Bitcoin, it can take anywhere from 10 minutes to over an hour to confirm, especially when the network is busy. The fees for sending Bitcoin can range from $1 to $50, depending on network congestion. Bitcoin uses a system called proof of work, which requires massive amounts of energy to secure the network, making it less environmentally friendly. The key thing to remember is Bitcoin is fully decentralized, meaning no single company or entity controls it. Now let us look at Ethereum. Ethereum is like a global computer designed to run smart contracts and decentralized applications. Transactions on Ethereum take about 15 seconds to process, but can sometimes be slower if the network is overloaded. The fees known as gas fees can vary wildly, from 10 cents to over $20. Ethereum recently switched to proof of stake, which uses less energy than Bitcoin, but still consumes more power than XRP. Ethereum's main strength is its flexibility, allowing developers to build all kinds of applications on top of its blockchain. Finally, we have XRP. Unlike Bitcoin and Ethereum, XRP was built for one thing: moving money fast. Transactions settle in 3 to 5 seconds no matter what. The cost to send XRP is a fraction of a penny, literally less than 5% of 1 penny. XRP uses a unique consensus mechanism that does not require mining or staking, making it extremely energy efficient. While it is more centralized than Bitcoin and Ethereum, this design makes it appealing to banks and financial institutions who need speed and reliability. So to sum it up, Bitcoin is your digital gold, slow and steady for storing value. Ethereum is like a smartphone, powerful and flexible for running apps. XRP is the supersonic jet, built solely for lightning-fast, cheap payments. Each has its own role in the crypto world, and understanding these differences helps you see why XRP could revolutionize how money moves globally. Before we move on, if any of this sounds confusing, make sure to check our 24-minute course for complete crypto beginners, which will help you get better picture of everything we are talking about. Link will be down in description. Now that we have compared these three giants, let us move on to topic number 6, the infamous SEC lawsuit against Ripple. We come to one of the most important chapters in Ripple's history, which is the legal battle with the US Securities and Exchange Commission, better known as the SEC. This lawsuit wasn't just about Ripple. It became a defining moment for the entire cryptocurrency industry. Let me break it down for you in simple terms. In December 2020, the SEC filed a lawsuit against Ripple Labs, its CEO Brad Garlinghouse, and co-founder Chris Larsen. The SEC claimed that XRP was an unregistered security, meaning they believed Ripple was selling XRP like a stock or investment contract without following proper regulations. Now, why does this matter? Because if XRP had been classified as a security, it would have put Ripple under strict financial laws, making it nearly impossible for them to operate the way they do today. The lawsuit sent shockwaves through the crypto world. Major exchanges like Coinbase even delisted XRP to avoid legal trouble, causing its price to crash. But here's where it gets interesting. Ripple didn't back down. They fought back hard, arguing that XRP is a currency, not a security. They pointed out that XRP is used for payments and liquidity, not as an investment where people expect profits from Ripple's efforts. After nearly 3 years of legal battles, in July 2023, a federal judge delivered a partial victory for Ripple. The court ruled that XRP is not a security when sold to the general public on exchanges. However, the judge also said that XRP could be considered a security when sold directly to institutional investors. This ruling was huge. It gave clarity not just to Ripple, but to the entire crypto market. Many saw it as a win against the SEC's aggressive stance on crypto regulation. Almost immediately, exchanges relisted XRP and its price surged. You remember I told you how Swift is fighting against XRP? Well, this is how. SEC shut down many promising companies, and Ripple is one of the very few that survived lawsuit against it. Many others didn't have enough resources to withstand the pressure they bring, making this even more significant victory for Ripple. But the fight isn't completely over. The SEC could still appeal, and the case might drag on. However, one thing is clear. Ripple's battle showed that the crypto industry won't just roll over when regulators come knocking. So what does this mean for you as an investor or someone interested in XRP? It means that while Ripple has survived this major hurdle, regulatory risks still exist. But with every legal victory, XRP's future becomes more secure. Now that we've covered the lawsuit, let's move on to something more practical. How can you actually buy and store XRP safely? That's coming up in topic number 7. Buying and storing XRP is simple if you follow the right steps. First, let us talk about where you can buy XRP. While many exchanges delisted XRP during the SEC lawsuit, all major platforms now support it. For beginners, the easiest way is to use centralized exchanges Binance or Coinbase, though availability depends on your country. The reason for this is that major exchanges support traditional currency deposits, meaning you can deposit your funds in, let's say, US dollar value and easily exchange it for XRP in a matter of minutes. Once you have chosen an exchange, the process is straightforward. Create an account, complete identity verification if required, deposit funds using your bank account or credit card, then place an order to buy XRP at the current market price. The fees will vary depending on which exchange you use, but they are generally much lower than traditional banking fees we discussed earlier. After purchasing XRP, the most important step is storing it safely. Never leave your XRP on exchanges long term, because if the exchange gets hacked or goes bankrupt, you could lose everything. Instead, transfer your XRP to a secure wallet you control. There are several good options for XRP wallets, but wallets are topic for another video. We already covered 3 wallets for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana network in our 24-minute course video. We will make a video on Bitcoin Academy in next few weeks, which will cover best wallet options for all top cryptocurrencies. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that guide. For this video, I will only suggest number 1 option I prefer, which is a wallet called Zaman Wallet, formerly known as Zoom. Once your wallet is ready, you can withdraw XRP from the exchange by entering your wallet address. Transactions typically complete in 3 to 5 seconds with fees less than a penny. For those holding large amounts of XRP, consider using a multi-signature wallet for extra security. This requires multiple approvals before any transactions can be made, protecting you from theft even more than normal wallets do. Now that you know how to buy and store XRP safely, let us look ahead to our final topic, the future of XRP and what it could mean for the global financial system. Before we continue, like button is right there, and your support helps us create more content like this. Now let us move to topic number 8, the future of XRP. Now that we have covered everything from how XRP works to how to buy and store it safely, let us look ahead to what the future might hold for this revolutionary cryptocurrency. The potential for XRP is enormous, but like any technology, its success depends on several key factors. First and foremost is adoption by financial institutions. We have already seen banks and payment providers testing Ripple's technology, with companies like Santander and SBI Remit using XRP for cross-border payments. If more banks follow suit, XRP could become the backbone of a new global financial system, replacing the outdated SWIFT network we discussed earlier. Another critical factor is regulation. While Ripple scored a partial victory against the SEC, the legal landscape remains uncertain. Governments around the world are still figuring out how to classify and regulate cryptocurrencies, and their decisions will have a major impact on XRP's future. However, the fact that Ripple has already established partnerships with central banks and financial regulators gives it a significant advantage over other cryptocurrencies. Technological advancements will also play a role. The XRP ledger is constantly being improved, with new features like smart contracts and tokenization being added to make it more versatile. These upgrades could open up new use cases for XRP beyond just payments, potentially competing with platforms like Ethereum in the decentralized finance space. Then there is the question of competition. While XRP is currently one of the fastest and cheapest options for cross-border payments, other cryptocurrencies and even traditional financial institutions are working on their own solutions. SWIFT is not going down without a fight, and new technologies like central bank digital currencies could disrupt the market further. So what does all this mean for you as an investor or someone interested in XRP? It means that while the potential rewards are high, so are the risks. XRP could revolutionize global finance and deliver massive returns to early adopters, or it could be overtaken by newer technologies and regulatory challenges. The key is to stay informed and make decisions based on facts rather than hype. Before we wrap up, let me leave you with this thought. The current financial system is broken, and change is inevitable. Whether XRP becomes the solution or just one step in the evolution of money, what matters is that we are witnessing a transformation in how value moves around the world. And that is something worth paying attention to. Apart from this topic, which is banking and money flow, we are at the pedestal of many financial and technological revolutions that cryptocurrencies are bringing. So knowing information you learned today can put you in front of everyone that doesn't know anything about it. My number 1 advice to any beginner is to learn as much as possible before making any investment decisions, because the more you know, the better your chances of making profit become. This point in time is once in a lifetime opportunity. Don't let it pass by you like a wind. Embrace it, give it a little push by learning basics, and change your life. To make a quick comparison, we are now at a point in time like when Google was in the early 2000s. Imagine you took time to learn about it back then, and it led you to invest in the company and get 1000x returns in the coming years. Okay, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to Bitcoin Academy for more crypto education. We have plenty of content coming that will help you navigate this exciting new world of digital currencies. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.